My younger brother picked up the gift my daughter gave him, turned it in his hands, and said, "Cheap, worthless trash." Then he threw it on the floor. The room went silent. My 8-year-old daughter, Kendall, just stood there, clutching her tiny hands, eyes wide with tears. That moment, just a carved wood box splintered on the tile, ended 8 years of sacrifice. It ended family. I'm Nadia Crane, 38, single mom, full-time accountant, part-time peacekeeper. When I divorced Kendall's father 8 years ago, my family said they'd be there for me. But somehow I became the one there for them. My parents retired early with more pride than savings. My younger brother Gage, 26, artistic, dreamy, allergic to hard work, decided he was going to be the next big name in handmade pottery. And me? I was the one with a steady job, the spreadsheet brain, the one who made just enough to fix everyone else's emergencies. When Mom and Dad's rent went up, I covered the difference. When Dad's car needed a new transmission, I paid the shop directly. When Gage needed a loan to start his studio, I wrote the check. $70,000. $70,000. All documented in texts, but no contracts, because he's my brother. He promised, "Once the studio takes off, I'll pay you back tenfold." And I believed him because I wanted to, because that's what good sisters do. Last summer, Gage turned 27. He threw a big birthday bash at his new rented studio. Music, beer, fairy lights, the works. He wanted to celebrate success. His shelves were lined with half-finished clay pots and overpriced vases no one was buying. Kendall was so excited to bring him a gift she'd made herself, a little wooden box she carved in art class, with his initials burned into the lid. She spent 3 weekends sanding and painting it, whispering, "Uncle Gage will love this." When we arrived, he greeted his friends first, barely nodded at me. Then Kendall handed him the box. He opened it, stared for 2 seconds, and laughed. "Cheap, worthless trash," he said. Then he tossed it toward the counter. It missed and hit the floor. The lid cracked. Everyone froze. I remember the taste of wine turning bitter in my mouth. Kendall's lip trembled and she whispered, "It's okay, Mommy." But it wasn't okay. Something inside me snapped. 8 years of paying their bills, defending him, sacrificing for people who never said thank you. All for a man who could humiliate my daughter in front of strangers. I put my glass down, took Kendall's hand, and said, "We're leaving." As we walked out, I heard him mutter, "Overreacting like always." That was the last family party I ever attended. It started quietly. First, I canceled the automatic transfer for my parents' rent. Mom called 3 days later. "Nadia, the landlord says we're short this month." "I know," I said. "It's time for you and Dad to manage it yourselves." Silence. Then a gasp. "You can't just stop. We'll be homeless. I've been paying for 8 years, Mom. It's not my responsibility anymore." She hung up. The guilt clawed at me that night. I barely slept. But every time I saw Kendall's little wooden box cracked on her dresser, I hardened again. Then came Gage's turn. His studio lease was tied to my name as guarantor. So I called the landlord and terminated the contract. 2 weeks later, I watched from across the parking lot as a tow truck lifted his shiny gray BMW, one he bought using my loan money, right in front of his customers. He screamed, begged, cursed at the repo guys. I didn't say a word. He texted me that night. "You destroyed my life. You're evil." I replied, "You did that when you called my daughter's gift trash." He didn't respond. Mom and Dad couldn't make the rent without my help. They tried to guilt me, then shame me, then beg me. When that didn't work, They moved into a $900 a month roadside motel. Every phone call was the same chorus. Family helps family. No, I said one night. Family respects family. You just used me. They accused me of being cold. Maybe I was, but cold was safer than burned. Meanwhile, Gage's pottery business collapsed within months. His online store disappeared, his credit cards maxed out. Last I heard, he borrowed a 2008 Honda Civic from a friend and started doing Uber Eats at dawn. One evening, as Kendall and I were unpacking boxes in our new apartment, just the two of us, finally free, I found a voicemail from him. He sounded small. Nadia, I know I messed up, but Mom and Dad need help. Dad's foot's infected. They might amputate. Please, we can't pay the bills. I'm begging you. I sat at the table with the postcard I'd bought weeks before, a picture of a sunrise over Tucson. On the back, I wrote, "We are no longer family. No contracts. No cash. No contact." And I mailed it. The next year was quiet. Lonely sometimes, yes, but peaceful. I stopped waiting for apologies that would never come. I took Kendall hiking on weekends, started a little Etsy shop selling budget planners, and paid down every debt I'd once taken for theirs. Kendall asked me one night, "Mom, are you sad about Uncle Gage?" I thought for a while. "I'm sad for the sister I used to be," I said, "but not for the woman I am now. Because boundaries aren't cruelty. They're survival. And forgiveness doesn't always mean reconnection. Sometimes it means choosing peace over people-pleasing." A few months later, I heard through a mutual friend that Gage had left town. No car, no studio, no more Instagram posts of dreamer potter life. Just silence. And that's okay. Because some stories don't need closure. They need distance. This morning, Kendall handed me a small box. She'd carved a new one, just like the first, but this time, the initials on top were mine. Inside, she'd written on a note, "For the mom who taught me what real love looks like." I held her, tears finally spilling down my face. That little box, simple, handmade, full of care, was everything her uncle couldn't see. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel used or angry or alone. I just felt free. Closing narration, 17 to 30, end. Narrator, softly. If you've ever been the one holding your family together, waiting for gratitude that never comes, let this be your sign. You're allowed to stop. You're allowed to build a life without the weight of people who drain you. Sometimes the strongest revenge isn't payback. It's peace.